Today's headline is Vigilantes Bullets and Rustler Gang. 4 cattle thieves riddled with shot in Lonely Canyon by avenging ranchers. The subheadline says, Posse pursues robbers to refuge in mountains and duel to death ensues. This article was a special dispatch to the call, originally reported from San Diego on January 4th. It says, as a result of a desperate fight, which is reported to have occurred last Saturday morning between a gang of 4 cattle rustlers and a posse of Mexican ranchers, the desperados were wiped out of existence and their bodies left in the open country for the coyotes to prey upon, while the vigilantes emerged from the affray with 1 man desperately wounded. The battle occurred on the eastern boundary of San Diego County, about 20 miles north of the international boundary line between the United States and Mexico. On account of the remoteness of the locality, it has been possible to secure but few of the details. The only news of the affair thus far received was brought into Mesa Grande today by a mounted man who said he had passed the 4 bodies in a canyon. He had been on the lookout for them, having heard reports of the battle. The gang of cattle thieves was composed of 2 Mexicans, 1 white man, and an Indian. For some months past, they had been committing depredations below the line. The band made its headquarters in a barren canyon in the mountainous districts bordering upon the desert, having a fortified den there that was almost impregnable. It had been their habit to ride across the line just after nightfall, going some distance into Lower California. Large numbers of cattle would be cut loose from the main herds and driven across the line into American territory to the stronghold of the robbers, there to be kept until they could be disposed of with the least possible risk of detection. Of late, the depredations of the band are said to have become so frequent as to arouse the Mexican ranchers to the necessity for drastic action. A meeting of the ranchers was held about a month ago, and at that time, a vigilante committee was organized. The robbers in some manner learned of the action of the ranchers, but in spite of this fact, rode across the line last Friday night. They cut out a bunch of about 100 head of cattle and then made a rush for the American side. Within a couple of hours from the time of the raid, the loss of cattle was discovered. The Mexican vigilantes were summoned and pursuit started. The robbers succeeded in making their way across the line to the American side, but at the entrance to their canyon were overtaken. The vigilantes immediately engaged the robbers in fierce battle, which is reported to have lasted more than an hour. The robbers entrenched themselves behind rocks, but the accuracy with which the vigilantes used their rifles soon counted, and in little more than an hour, all the robbers had been riddled with bullets. The ranchers collected the stolen cattle and with their wounded comrade returned to Lower California, leaving the bodies of the robbers where they had fallen. Sheriff Jennings has instructed his deputies at Warner Springs and San Felipe to investigate the affair, but it's not believed that any action will be taken after the reports of the deputies are rendered. This story came from the great state of California, being reported in the San Francisco Call of January 5th, 1909. Thank you for joining us today. If you want to continue to uncover all of America's lost and forgotten history, then remember before you leave to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and remember to like and comment below. And we will see you next time on Americana Archives.